Carmilla, are you alright? Please open the door.
Laura, what's going on here?
Father, please help me. I think Carmilla is in danger.
Move aside! Where is she? Do you think it is possible that Carmilla had been wakened by the uproar and perhaps hid herself in this room?
Carmilla! If you have concealed yourself, I implore you to stop playing this cruel trick.
We must begin the search immediately. Go and wake Madame Perrodon.
Yes, Papa, right away.
Carmilla! Carmilla!
Carmilla, are you in there?
Carmilla, please show yourself. You can't just leave me.
Did you find anything at all?
I'm afraid not, Papa.
What a tale to have to tell the poor girl's mother on her return.
Oh my God, Carmilla! Dear Carmilla, what has become of you all this time? We have been in agonies of anxiety about you. Where have you been? How did you come back?
Last night has been a night of wonders.
For mercy's sake, explain all you can.
It was past 2 last night, when I went to sleep as usual in my bed, with my doors locked. My sleep was uninterrupted, and, so far as I know, dreamless. But I woke just now on the sofa in the dressing-room there, and I found the door between the rooms open, and the other door forced. How could all this have happened without my being wakened? It must have been accompanied with a great deal of noise, and I am particularly easily wakened. And how could I have been carried out of my bed without my sleep having been interrupted, I whom the slightest stir startles?
Will you forgive me, my dear, if I risk a conjecture and ask a question?
Who can have better right? Put any question you please, but you know, of course, the limitations Mamma has placed me under.
Perfectly, my dear child. I need not approach the topics on which she desires our silence. Now, the marvel of last night consists in your having been removed from your bed and your room without being wakened, and this removal having occurred apparently while the windows were still secured, and the 2 doors locked upon the inside. So my question is this. Have you ever been suspected of walking in your sleep?
Never. Since I was very young, indeed.
But you did walk in your sleep when you were young.
Yes, I know I did. I have been told so often by my old nurse.
Well, what has happened is this. You got up in your sleep and unlocked the door, not leaving the key in the lock as usual, but taking it out and locking it on the outside. You again took the key out and carried it away with you to some one of the 25 rooms on this floor, or perhaps upstairs or downstairs. There are so many rooms and closets that it would require a week to search this old house thoroughly. Do you see what I mean?
I do, but not all.
And how, Papa, do you account for her finding herself on the sofa in the dressing room, which we had searched so carefully?
She came there after you had searched it, still in her sleep, and at last awoke spontaneously, and was as much surprised to find herself where she was as anyone else. I wish all mysteries were as easily and innocently explained as yours, Carmilla.
That is wonderful, sir. I can't thank you enough for solving it.
And so we may congratulate ourselves on the certainty that the most natural explanation of the occurrence is one that involves no drugging, no tampering with locks, no burglars, or poisoners, or witches. Nothing that need alarm Carmilla or anyone else for our safety. I just wish my poor Laura was looking more like herself. Oh, there she is. Laura, I want you to tell the doctor everything. I dare say, Doctor, you are going to tell me that I'm an old fool for having brought you here.
Not at all. Can I speak with you alone for a moment?
Certainly. Laura, dear, come here for a moment.
It's okay, Laura. I'm right here.
Laura, come here, dear. Now, attend to the doctor and recollect yourself. You mentioned a sensation like that of 2 needles piercing the skin on the night when you experienced your first horrible dream. Is there still any soreness?
Not at all.
Can you indicate with your finger about the point at which you think this occurred?
Here, a little above my chest.
You won't mind lowering your dress a very little? I'm afraid it is necessary to detect a symptom of the complaint under which you have been suffering.
Oh my goodness!
You see it now with your own eyes?
What is it?
Nothing, my dear young lady, but 2 small spots about the size of the tip of your little finger.
Is there any danger?
I trust not, my dear. That is the point at which the sense of strangulation begins?
Yes. It may have been. I think it was.
You see? Shall I say a word to Madame Perrodon?
Certainly. Madame Perrodon, come here, please.
I find my young friend here far from well. It won't be of any great consequence, I hope, but it will be necessary that some steps be taken. You will be so good as not to let Miss Laura be alone for one moment. That is the only direction I need give for the present. It is indispensable.
We may rely upon your kindness, madame, I know.
Of course. He will do anything for our Laura to get better.
And you, dear Laura, I know you will observe the doctor's direction. Now, I shall have to ask your opinion upon another patient whose symptoms slightly resemble those of my daughter. Very much milder in degree, but I believe quite of the same sort. She is a young lady, our guest. But as you say you'll be passing this way again this evening, you can't do better than take your supper here, and you can then see her. She does not come down till the afternoon anyway, and she just had a very rough night in particular.
I thank you. I shall be with you then at about 7 this evening.
I've just received an urgent letter from General Spielsdorf. I'm afraid I must make haste to meet with him.
Papa, darling, will you tell me this? Does the doctor think me very ill?
No, dear. He thinks that if right steps are taken, you will be quite well again, at least on the high road to a complete recovery in a day or 2. I wish our good friend, the General, had chosen any other time.
But do tell me, Papa. What does he think is the matter with me?
Nothing. You must not plague me with questions. You shall know all about it in a day or 2. In the meantime, you are not to trouble your head about it. But now I must leave to Karnstein. I've ordered the carriage to be ready at 12. You know what? I think you and Madame Perrodon should accompany me. It might actually be beneficial for you to get some fresh air.
But what about Carmilla?
I think it is best to let her rest. Besides, if she will come with us, she will most definitely miss her appointment with the doctor. I think you should go ahead and get yourself dressed. In the meantime, I will leave a note for Carmilla explaining everything.
Come here, Laura. He'll help you getting dressed.
Hello, old friend.